Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I am presenting to you live from the French Quarter in New Orleans, Louisiana, where there is a je ne sais quoi about the city. That the beauty of this place is that it kind of smells like if you mixed, Addie Bates, producer of the Drake Toll Show, hot start. Can I or can I not say feces?
No, you cannot.
I'm hearing that we'll allow it. Thank you.
I don't think I said that.
There is a conglomerate of feces is the word for it, and throw up that creates this both two things actually, both smell and charm around the city of New Orleans. And it permeated over the course of the weekend with the Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals selling out 2 nights at the Mercedes, not anymore, Caesars Superdome. And as much fun as all of that was, in the middle of it, sports happened around me, around the world, that had my eyes, my attention, as the United States of America advanced past the Dominican Republic on a very embarrassing final called Strike 3 to end it. But no less, the United States wins. Oh, and the United States also wins because this country is home to the greatest single postseason event on planet Earth. It is March Madness. I know, we love the World Cup. But you only love the World Cup until the quarterfinals. And once the quarterfinals hit and the United States has been bounced, you don't really love the World Cup that much anymore. Something goes away about it. Gone is that team that you could root for. However, in college basketball, every single game in March Madness comes with a rooting interest for you. Not because you love Siena, but because you love seeing Siena win against a team that you do know, a team that you do love, a team that you recognize, a name, a brand that you're used to in college basketball. That's what you're going to get. We love the World Baseball Classic. The World Baseball Classic's awesome. We love the Four Corners deal that hockey did. The Olympics are great. But what March Madness does for the next 3 weeks, it is going to turn you feral about a group of young men who play for a university that you never heard of, that you've never watched a basketball game of theirs. And they will take your heart. They'll take America by storm. They'll take your heart, and they'll win the attention of the country. That begins now. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization. Locked on Big 12, Amazon Fire TV's college football kickoff. And most importantly right now, in this given context, at 5 a.m., 3 minutes and 59 seconds, the Drake Toll Show. Unlike the NBA or MLB, where the superstar team can have a bad night, March Madness offers 0 safety nets. You don't get a 7-game series. Your opportunity, Gonzaga against Kennesaw State, your opportunity is now. Bulldogs, Owls, and you either go down as the Gonzaga team that beat Kennesaw State in the first round of the NCAA tournament because Gonzaga should always beat Kennesaw State, or you become the Kennesaw State team that we talk about for the next 15 years, 20 years, 30 years plus. Valparaiso. Homer Drew is the head coach. Bryce Drew knocking off Ole Miss. Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast. Those are the stories we remember from March. Will it be Queens? Of course it won't be Queens. They're a 15 seed against number 2 seed Purdue. Well, I've seen crazier that involved Purdue. Will it be St. Louis over Georgia? Avila, the big man with the goggles, hitting a 3 in his conference tournament semifinal that still wasn't enough in an upset loss to Dayton because some of the madness begins early in the month with the conference tournaments. Will it be Hofstra over Alabama, Tennessee State over Iowa State? Will UCF, who's in as a 10 seed, make it to the Elite 8? Let's take you through the most intriguing matchups. Let's take you through the best scenarios. Let's take you through how March Madness, for as coveted, beautiful, structured, and captivating as it is a tournament, is a predictable one. What? What do you mean predictable? Well, Joe Lunardi had 68 of 68 teams predicted correctly. One of the first teams out, the Auburn Tigers. Bruce Pearl's son, Stephen Pearl, coaches the team. And both of those guys are pretty upset the Tigers are not in March Madness, and they will instead host for the NIT. Have fun doing that. Over the course of the weekend, that was the biggest stink of teams that did not make this tournament. That's the biggest stink of teams we will not talk about today with an opportunity to win the national championship. The Auburn Tigers. We'll converse about Bruce Pearl over the course of this show quite a few times because of this. But what I continue to come back to is that this guy's now being paid as an analyst for TNT or CBS, but his analyzation has nepotism at the forefront, at its forefront. And forefront is a strategic word there. So instead of hearing about how, oh, wow, can't wait to see NC State and Texas in the first four in Dayton, or SMU and Miami of Ohio getting in, instead of celebrating Miami of Ohio, we have the same guy who said unequivocally 2 weeks ago, Miami of Ohio cannot get in. They did. You and I talked about that at the end of last week. You're sitting in your car right now, and you are driving past American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas, headed back from the gym. Going to go home, get dressed, cook some breakfast, go to work. And you remember us talking about Miami of Ohio losing, but still being a 31-win team. Miami of Ohio losing in its conference tournament to UMass, but still deserving to get in as an at-large. And they did. Into the play-in. They'll go to Dayton and take on SMU in a couple of nights. Wednesday night, actually. That is another beautiful part of this whole thing. Thanks to our first four games, first 8 teams that will play, to make it the field of 68. We're going to get games tomorrow night. NC State and Texas, Howard and UMBC. Before we see Lehigh and Prairie View, and then SMU and Miami of Ohio on Wednesday. Tomorrow it begins. Tomorrow you start learning your new favorite players you didn't know their name. You can pronounce their name 2 weeks ago. You can today. And Duke landing a 1 seed. But we know Duke's banged up. Florida landing a 1 seed, but being blown out by Vanderbilt, who got blown out by Arkansas. How about another 1 seed in Michigan, who I've got questions about? Just lost their conference tournament, the Big Ten, to Purdue. The only 1 seed, and they become the popular pick, if you ask any analyst at ESPN, the only 1 seed that I think is at full strength, that has the best opportunity to win this entire thing, is Arizona. We could see all the 1 seeds in the Final Four again. That wouldn't shock me. But Arizona is the best fitted right now from health standpoint to a mixture and team chemistry standpoint to win. They have the right balance of older players like Jaden Bradley, who was the Big 12 Player of the Year. He was a contentious Big 12 Player of the Year pick. We talked about that, you and I, last week as well. They mix that with Braden Burries or Koa Pete, some young guys on the Arizona roster that make them deadly. Another note, another nugget, knowing that 3 of the 4 1 seeds have some kryptonite that analysts are poking holes in their team right now through. Another note is that the squads they'll play in the second round, the round of 32, likely aren't that good. The bubble this year, everybody called it the worst bubble ever. Oh, there's so many teams on the bubble that none of them are good. This year is just a sad year for the teams in the middle of college basketball. I didn't really believe that until we got to Selection Sunday yesterday, and they started reading off the teams. Like, did we give an at-large to VCU? Oh, we gave an at-large to St. Mary's, a 7 seed to St. Mary's. Like, I watched college basketball a lot this year. They were in the top 25 quite a bit. I didn't necessarily understand it. I didn't necessarily think it was necessary. But they were there. Texas A&M as a 10 seed in March Madness. Utah State and Villanova. Arizona will play the winner of Villanova and Utah State. Like, what's happening right now? Missouri. I watched a lot of SEC basketball. Were they that good? Were they that was the SEC that deep that Missouri and Georgia are in as at-larges as a 7 and 8 seed? I put them in, but 7 and 8 seed? Santa Clara is an at-large 10 seed. It was a weak bubble, but I think, therefore, you're going to get a lot of interesting outcomes in the round of 64. You could very easily see Santa Clara upset Kentucky. St. Louis will likely upset Georgia. I would not be shocked at all if Texas A&M, the 10 seed, Bucky McMillan, Buckyball, he was the Samford guy, moved to Texas A&M and is immediately winning. I wouldn't be surprised if A&M knocked off St. Mary's. That's a 10 over a 7. What an upset. Or UCF over UCLA, and that just sparks a run for UCF, who would play UConn in the round of 32, and we just found out UConn's fallible. South Florida as an 11. You're like, what? I didn't even know. South Florida has basketball this year? Yeah. And they're good, but not notable. There are not a lot of notable teams that were on the bubble that got in. It was more the conversation about the ones that got left out, like Auburn or Oklahoma. Or more the conversation about the one that got away, Miami of Ohio, the bid stealer, going in as the 11 seed. Can I tell you something I do hate about March Madness? Like Akron, okay? Akron wins the MAC tournament, but we know that Miami of Ohio, with a 31-1 record, has won the MAC regular season. I value the regular season. I think the Red Hawks deserve a better seed than the Akron Zips, and they got a better seed. Problem is due to the field of 68, the Red Hawks will first have to play in Dayton, Ohio, before they're able to actually compete in the real March Madness, like field of 64. We're down to 32 games on the first 2 days. It's going to be a little bit before we get Miami, Ohio, an opportunity to play in the actual big dance. I don't like that you have to win a game to feel like you're really in March Madness and really dancing. But it's the way we built this tournament when we expanded it. And the ruthless single elimination format, the one-game variance, like a small school shoots 58% from three, and Michigan shoots 21%, and then that small school ends up winning because of the one-game variance of March Madness creates, or the ritual of bracketology. I'll call it a ritual of bracketology, where you gather with friends you haven't talked to in a decade, haven't seen in a decade, and you create what you think is the perfect bracket with a 1.1 in 9.2 quintillion chance at getting it all correct. Office pools, family competitions, the bracket, your bracket. Who do you have winning your bracket is the talk of the next 3 weeks. It's become a holiday. It kicks off 3 days of intense debate about the sleeper picks. Who you take? Who's in the Sweet 16 with the double-digit seed? Who's your 12 over the 5? Who's your UMBC or Fairleigh Dickinson? A 16 that could knock off a 1. Hasn't happened since 2023. You have characters. Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean, may she rest in peace. And because there are 67 games, thank you, packed into 3 weeks, it's the frequency of dramatic finishes, like Chris Chiozza or Luke May. And that frequency is statistically higher than in any other playoff system. Not to mention, this week, on Thursday and Friday, you will be blitzed by college basketball. I'm going to go tomorrow in my beautiful home of Savannah, Georgia. I'm in New Orleans. It's not that different from Savannah. New Orleans is like a more centralized, to the left of Savannah, version of Savannah. Few less people over in the coastal empire than there are here in New Orleans, but it's pretty similar. I'm going to fly from one New Orleans to the next by going to Savannah today and enjoying my St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, just for my evening to be filled with play-in games. Yes. And then Thursday and Friday, clear the calendar. Rest up on Wednesday. We sleep in May. as we'll play the national championship and Final Four in April. And the first 2 days will feature 32 games in 48 hours, games overlapping, quad box, quint box, or whatever, I don't know, 5. You have a constant stream of clutch moments, last-second shots. And the post-tournament, the ball is tipped. There you are. You're running for your life. You capture the raw emotion, tears of defeat or jubilation of victory. You emphasize. There's something about the human element in all of this, the human element in collegiate sports. Oh, and by the way, from a financial standpoint, the tournament generates over $1 billion in annual revenue. So it's not just this cute, fun thing that you like or that we as Americans have facilitated as one of the best postseasons in all of the world, the history of the world. No, it also gets $1 billion. What a stupid number, man. That's the ESPN's contract. It is ESPN's contract right now with the SEC to broadcast the SEC's games is $1 billion. And not even annually. And in 3 weeks, the NCAA tournament will generate over $1 billion. That's different. It is estimated, though. I read a tweet yesterday, a stat. Americans and American businesses will lose billions themselves in productivity as employees stream games at their desks. Then just don't even make it a holiday. Don't even make your employees work this weekend. Thursday and Friday, it's all they can talk about. But there is something so cool to being in the office and watching the games together and comparing the brackets together. And you get that opportunity this week. So who will win it? What is the hardest region? Who is the Cinderella you need to watch, that you need to know, the name, that one guy who's going to take America by storm? I can tell you. And I can tell you on this very program for free. And that's up next. 310-840-4910. Call or text the show. 310-840-4910. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Follow the big wave of free agency. Who are the favorites to make it to LA for Super Bowl 61? And who has the most work to do heading into the NFL draft? We're breaking down the big news and what it means for your team on
trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. I've been in trouble, meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
Touch yourself. Touch yourself. Touch yourself. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. Oh, and the Drake Toll Show. I grew up, man. I grew up, and I vividly remember. I grew up. Debatable. I vividly remember being probably 13. I had a little red radio that would lay... Dangerous. This is how you burn your house down. I had a little red radio. Both speakers were kind of bashed in, and you had to... You remember back in the day when you had these radios, and, oh, man, it was the size of like a rugby ball, okay? And it had an antenna on it, and you'd pull the antenna up. It was just this little three-deal antenna that comes up. And there was a dial on the front, and you'd spin that little wheel left or right, and it would move on the FM or the AM stations across the dial. And had a CD player, pop a CD in there, could throw that on. But I listened to the radio. I would listen to B98.5. I would listen to, in my mom's, Denali, old Denali that we thought was so cool because it had the seats in the back and just smelled like Diet Coke at all times. And I remember that little red radio. We'll either listen to B98.5, especially around Christmas time. They played Christmas music. I'd listen to 103.7 The Buzz. I would listen to KSSN 96, country music. The Wolf 94.1. And that's what radio was to me, okay? That's what radio was in the Toll household. And I remember the Chargers and the Broncos played a game where I think the Chargers got up 24-0, 28-0, and the Broncos rallied and won the game. And I listened to the entirety of it on Westwood One Sports. Little could I have known at 12 years old, on that beaten-up red radio that sat in my bed, like plugged into the wall and would just sit in the bed. Again, could have burned the house down at any moment. That states that name, what it evokes, Westwood One Sports, would have that 12-year-old, now 25, it's not even that long ago, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time every day. What an honor, what a privilege it is to go from listening to that little red radio to being on that little red radio with the Drake Toll Show. And to be doing so on a day such as this, when the greatest conglomerate of coaches you could probably garner for a region have been assembled in the region of Titans. There is very clearly one region of this tournament, of March Madness, that kind of blows if you're anyone not in the old guard or new guard of college basketball pedigree. What do I mean by that? It's a lot of word jargon, a lot of word soup. What I mean by that, there is the old guard, Bill Self, Tom Izzo, Rick Pitino. They're all three coaching in that regional. Ooh, that's a pretty tough region. The new guard, John Shire, Dan Hurley. Oh, that's also pretty good coaches in that same region. John Shire of Duke, Bill Self of Kansas, Dan Hurley of UConn, Tom Izzo, Michigan State, Rick Pitino, St. John's, all in the same region. If you'd like a cherry on top, may I invite you to also welcome in Mick Cronin, UCLA, who is a name that you know. A guy with a bruising defense who went to a Final Four as the head coach of, that's right, UCLA. And he's in the middle of those names. Oh, if you really want a deep track, I can't even say his name right. Gary McNamara. You haven't heard the name Gary McNamara in a long time. He's making his head coaching debut in the tournament. A former national champion player at Syracuse, bringing that Syracuse DNA to Siena, who would look for a historic 16-1 against Duke. So we're very likely going to see Jamie Dixon and TCU knock off Ohio State, and Duke knock off Siena. And Duke has its holes right now. Duke has its injury issues that don't make me believe in Duke, that do not make me pick Duke as my national champion, as the winner of my bracket this year. I still, transparently, not to show all of my cards, I don't have it figured out yet. Who's my team? Who am I riding this year? Give me time to think. Last year, I picked, Houston and Florida in the national championship game, and Florida to win. That paid out a couple of $1,000s in the various brackets that I won, from the office to the buddies. This year, I've yet to pick a champion, but I can tell you this, I don't love Duke. I think Duke TCU might be a fun game. You'll remember a few March Madnesses ago. March's Madness? It's like an attorney's general thing. A few March's Madness ago, when TCU played Arizona. Arizona was a 1 seed. And the Frogs, Mike Miles, Eddie Lampkin, gave Arizona all they could handle before the Wildcats had joined the Big 12. That reminds me a lot of what we'll see with TCU or Ohio State against Duke. What about St. John's? The winner of St. John's, Northern Iowa, plays the winner of Kansas and Cal Baptist. Northern Iowa, remember their wild run, their big upset, 12-5, and they lose to Texas A&M in the round of 32. They were up 9 points with under a minute to go. They lost the game. St. John's will knock off Northern Iowa, and then Kansas will beat Cal Baptist. And in the round of 32, we have Rick Pitino and Bill Self. By the way, the same Rick Pitino that last year against Arkansas could not find success. We had Calipari and Rick Pitino. This year we'll get Bill Self and Rick Pitino. Louisville and South Florida play the winner of Michigan State and North Dakota State. Don't count out North Dakota State. Do count out Louisville and South Florida. I think Louisville wins that game. I don't think Louisville is around in the dance very much longer after that. They were in a weaker ACC, not a very strong ACC, and Louisville was just all right. They were good. Not good enough to knock off of Michigan State. UCLA, UCF, for as much as I'd love to wax poetic about Mick Cronin, it's a UCF team, Johnny Dawkins, also in this region, that I think is going to surprise a lot of people. Why? Conference strength. The Big 12 is the best conference in college basketball. They have Iowa State, Houston. They've got Arizona at the top of the sport right now. That list goes on, but those are three teams that could all three make the Final Four this year, and you would not be very surprised. Again, senior leadership on each of those squads, namely Iowa State, one of the most experienced teams in the country. UCF comes from that cloth. They're cut from that cloth of the Big 12. They get UCLA. UCLA has to come to the Eastern time zone. UCF gets to play in its own time zone. That is a game where I think I like the Knights. And the winner of that one gets UConn or Furman. The Paladins aren't as good as they were a few years ago when they got an upset over Virginia. And this is a UConn team that you saw holes in the Big East tournament. Another one of those elite squads, another elite coach. We say, oh, wait a second, now I can poke holes in what they've done this year based on their conference tournament. I can poke holes on what they've done this year based on their loss to Providence or Georgetown, whoever it was that UConn fell to a couple weeks ago. It feels like a decent portion of this top 8 of these teams seeded 1 or 2 have lost a player, have played wishy-washy, didn't have an incredible conference tournament, a la Florida getting blown out by Vanderbilt. I thought Houston should have been a 1 seed and not the Gators. I digress. But that is what we've created at the very top of college basketball are question marks to me. And the question mark of who wins this region comes down to the names John Shire, Bill Self, Dan Hurley, Tom Izzo, Rick Pitino, Mick Cronin, if you don't mind. Or Jamie Dixon from TCU, who is the greatest college basketball coach in TCU program history. It did not take much. Or Johnny Dawkins, the Duke legend, who's at UCF. Those guys squaring off in the region. That's the number one storyline, number one takeaway from my March Madness yesterday was, man, what a brutal stretch for each of those teams. Do you want to know what my number 2 storyline on the day was? It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. My number 1 sports story, the one that made me feel the most, the emotion that was evoked, was the World Baseball Classic. The United States of America knocking off the Dominican Republic to advance to the final. And here's how it sounded. The very last pitch that sent the USA to the championship.
To Perdomo. Here it is. Oh, the championship!
Sounds good, right? There was a pitch. It was an off-speed from Mason Miller that broke. It didn't need to break. It was never a strike. It was never a strike. And then when it broke, it broke toward the ankles. Called strike 3. Terrible call. Like, it just made you feel gross. The United States won on a controversial call from an umpire who was out of his league, did not know what was going on. They didn't have the ABS system to back anybody up either. But I want to apologize to absolutely nobody. Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz, and Derek Jeter on Fox reacted to a game-winning strike call that was incorrect but helped the United States.
Controversy, right? Because we saw it in the 8th inning. Juan Soto was called strike 3 at a ball that was clearly low, and then almost the same pitch to end the game with Geraldo Perdomo at the plate. Mason Miller gets a call, ends a game with a tying run on third base. Just a tough way to end a really good game.
Yeah, and it is. And look, we've talked about, and here it is right here. A ball that's about 4 inches down, too close to take. But this is Corey Blazer's hot zone and is down. And sure enough, it lived to his counter report. But you just hate, Poppy, to end a game this big with these type of consequences on a pitch that's not a strike.
I got to tell you, if you call on 101, 102 miles an hour on top of the strike, cannot go down there and call that pitch a strike also. I mean, you're spanning the strike zone against this batter and facing a really good pitcher.
Well, you can pretty much guarantee they're going to have the challenge system in place for the next WBC, right? But, hey, look, I mean, you hate to end a game that way, but you give credit to the U.S. They not only pitched well, they hit the 2 home runs. They played great defense, whether it was Aaron with the throw to third base and Bobby Witt. How about the plays he made? He saved a run early on by knocking a ball down as well. So great pitching, great defense. The U.S. deserves to go to the finals. Yeah.
USA knocks off Dominican Republic 2-1 final score. Down 1-0 after a solo home run. A couple of solo home runs of their own. 2-1. Double them up. And the Dominican Republic, it's just Juan Soto to Fernando Tatis Jr., a dominant roster. Like, looking up and down at what the Dominican Republic has, the fact that the United States won that game, the fact the United States, thank you, Paul Skeens, by the way, held that team to 1 run, pretty spectacular. I felt some American pride yesterday after the U.S. knocked off the Dominican. And again, March Madness is the best tournament in all of sports. It's the best postseason in the world. But it does feel pretty nice to have those 3 letters cross your chest and root for the United States of America in a sport that we invented. Abner Doubleday, Civil War, baseball. Now the U.S. is going to the championship. Over the course of this show, we will answer many questions, and you have them, about March Madness, about the World Baseball Classic, about life in general. And coming up to answer those questions, your biggest question, who are the biggest losers of the day? Well, let's do a segment called Biggest Losers. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protect small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com, progressivecommercial.com. Biggest Losers. Up next, this is the Drake Tolles Show.
What a free agency.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Touch yourself. This is, at least. So I'm being told. We're going to get into the biggest losers of the day, and it's a minute away. But I want to make myself, before the music starts, before the pomp and the circumstance, an honorary biggest loser. Because what is happening right now? So I am scheduled to fly out of New Orleans. You've flown before. Everyone in America, you know what I'm talking about here. You've done the flying. So I'm thinking to myself, my Uber that's been scheduled by the Savannah Bananas organization is like 8:20, but the flight's at 10:50. And Addie, how far is the French Quarter from the airport in New Orleans?
Probably like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I mean 15, 20 minutes. I mean, I think it was 15 minutes when we first flew in here, so it's not far. So I could get there, and as long as security's if security say 7 minutes, which typically is what TSA pre-check is, then all that put together, we'll call it 30 minutes. We'll call it, I'm at my gate, I'm ready to go at 8:50 for a 10:50 flight. And you know what? I'm not that kind of guy. I like to feel something in life. I like to chance things. I like to touch yourself. I like to start and not smell the roses. So I think, okay, well, let's look up, MSY for TSA wait time. You think you could Google that and find a wait time. So
Google
I do,
me.
and the first thing I see, Fox 8 Live says, flying out of MSY Monday, expect long TSA lines. They don't really give a reason. They don't really tell me why. They just say that security could reach 2 hours during peak travel periods. It's 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The airport saying that's due to a shortage of Transportation Security Administration workers. And I thought, what does that mean? Come to find out, after it directed me to download the My TSA app, didn't know that was a thing, that My TSA app is going to show you airport wait times. But the My TSA app, Addie, and that's why I'm the biggest loser of the day, says, due to the lapse in federal funding, this website is not actively managed. Click here for more information. So I have
Usually
no
you can
idea.
still find some online.
Right. Is there a Reddit thread? Is there just some loser that's watching the line like a hawk live updating it? I would
You know
love
what?
to.
And
know
if
the
he
answer
was,
is
he's
yes.
not a loser. He's not a loser because he's helping you.
Yeah. You have family in New Orleans. It's your cousin you're defending right now. He has his hobbies.
Yeah. This is actually it. You know what's so funny though is I've heard that about every airport. And I flew out of Baltimore, it was fine. Had family flew out of Austin, fine. My friends flew to Chicago yesterday from New Orleans in the morning, like during peak, and they said they got through in 10 minutes, and they did not have TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants here. I'm just a little concerned with the verbiage I'm getting from the government about this whole issue. I'm not sure how to proceed. By the way, come to find out in this research. Number one, question for you. You're the producer. You know things. Are we in a government shutdown right now?
wasn't it like a partial? Like we've been through so many recently, so I just feel like
I got a new phone
probably
yesterday.
the answer is yes.
Are we in a government shut? There's an N in government. Government shutdown.
Good answer.
Are we still okay? We're in a partial government shutdown.
That's what I
but
said.
We're at war. How are we going to shut down part of the government when we're at war right now?
That's a good question. I'm going
This
to
is when we
defer that
need
one to
our
Curtis
government.
Poindexter.
Yep, Curtis, what the hell's going on, dog? We need our government right now. We're at war.
I'm still recovering from my not being chosen as Ayatollah, so.
That's what happens when you touch things. This is what happens when you touch yourself. Also finding out for the first time, not only am I learning we're in a government shutdown, but that the entire East Coast is getting hit with monumental storms today. I'm flying into Charlotte. That might not happen. D.C. as well. Schools are closed across the East Coast. So my thoughts are with you. That can obviously be scary. Valonia, Arkansas. Represent. 2011, 2014. Hit by tornadoes in both of those years. EF3 and EF5, something like that. Biggins. Not good.
It's going to be 90 today, if you were wondering.
What's today?
It's going to be 90.
It's 90 degrees in Santa Monica, California.
Yeah.
I'm doing it with your ghost. Thanks, Curtis, for the update. I'm flying to. Oh, it's supposed to be. You know what? It's supposed to be nice today, like weather, like temperature-wise, 78 in Savannah or Charlotte, but also tornadoes. And then tomorrow, the high is 53 with a low of 36 for St. Patrick's Day. What are we doing, man? What I want to punt that groundhog. Yeah, I want to find that. I want to find Lou Holtz, and I want to find that groundhog. And I want to give them both a piece of my mind. And Lou Holtz is going to be very confused for a myriad of reasons, but I want to find him. I want to know where he is right now. Him and Philip, Punxsutawney Philip.
Hide your groundhogs, guys. Hide your groundhogs.
I'm coming for him. It's time for our biggest losers of the day. First biggest loser of the day. Whoever left the auto-tune on, this is a soccer match between a couple teams in Latin America. I don't really know where, but they, for some probably accidental reason, put an auto-tune on their broadcaster. Take a listen.
Caramusi, ¿cómo puede? Caramusi abrió la cancha otra vez con Cabrejas, el centro al área. Le queda Caramusi, la volea. ¡Gol! ¡Golazo! Del número 11 de Caramusi para abrir el marcador con una tijera bárbara. Golazo del verde que pone el partido 1-0.
Yeah.
Said something about scissors. That's all I can make out.
Wow.
No, Curtis.
It sounded like the band LMFAO, the party rock band. Party rock's in the house tonight.
Party rock.
The uncle and nephew?
Are they uncle and nephew?
Yeah, apparently. I didn't find that out till like 6 months ago.
No. Did you know, Curtis? I was going to bring this up later. Biggest winner in the middle of our biggest losers. Addie Bates went to a Savannah Bananas and Party Animals game. 70,000 people, the Superdome, on Saturday. And Addie, what song did yours truly, in front of 70,000 people, put actively in the show?
Jordan Belfort.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Curtis seems so unimpressed. He was like, "That's wonderful."
Yeah, I surprised Addie. I hijacked the entertainment and aux cord in front of 70,000 and said, we're going to play Jordan Belfort. The Drake Toll Show is going to have an impact on the Savannah Bananas and the Superdome.
I got a t-shirt.
Addie Bates bought a t-shirt.
Big day. Pretty big day. And a beer.
Senior year of high school, behind the dumpster, Superdome. Biggest losers of the day. Bruce Pearl. Awful announcing tweets. Bruce Pearl still on Auburn payroll while employed at CBS and TNT, for a public record. Jeff Grammer retweets it and says, I get some people don't care about this, but CBS Sports, and frankly some of their journalists, should be peed off about this. Remember, the FCC won't allow us to say the P word. The guy who quit his job in a way that they couldn't do a search, so he landed his son a prime SEC gig, that argued for his son's team in the NCAA tournament, is still getting paid by the school. And the jewel of CBS Sports inventory, yes, NFL makes more money, but March Madness is theirs, should be above this. Yeah, man. Awful Announcing also tweets, Bruce Pearl advocates for Auburn on selection show, suggests Tigers should be in over SMU. And SMU basketball actually quote tweeted it by saying, we can't all be named Pearl. Also our biggest losers this week, the Seattle Mariners. For being trolled by the Savannah Bananas? This went viral on Twitter over the weekend. A Party Animals batter, looks like Reese Hampton, walks to the plate, first AB of the game, goes to shake the hand of Bill Leroy, the catcher for the Bananas, and Bill refuses the handshake for about 6 seconds. And then finally, they both hug, and do a synchronized dance together. Addie, did you catch this when it happened live and you were in venue?
No, I don't think I was paying attention to that point. Was Connor Harris warming up?
No, Connor Harris was not warming up. I too was like, what's happening? And I realized I work here and should know. And eventually did know. Also, biggest loser today. USC baseball. They had to travel to Northwestern, Chicago, and played in a blizzard this week. So, I'm still with your girl. Santa Monica's 80 degrees. USC is playing at Northwestern and in Spain without the S. Biggest winner of the SEC. 10 teams in March Madness. That is the most of any conference. Presented by Robinhood. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Learn more and get started today with Robinhood at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. Those are our biggest losers of the day. Eddie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. It is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, our obituaries. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Ey, pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, un VIP. Ey, saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. 6 chis, ey, que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie. 6 chis, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí. Me gustan mucho las Gabriela, las Patricia, las Nicole, la Sofía. Mi primera novia en Kinder María y mi primer amor se llamaba Talía. Tengo una colombiana que me escribe todos los días y una mexicana que ni yo sabía. Otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía y las de PR que toditas son mías. Una dominicana que juega bombón, juega bombón. La de Barcelona que vino en avión y dice que mi bicho está cabrón. Yo dejo que jueguen con mi corazón. Quisiera mudarme con todas por una mansión. El día que me case te envío la invitación, muchacho, deja eso. Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Ey, pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Ey, muchas novias. Hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Titi me preguntó.
Muchacho, ¿y para qué tú quieres tanta novia?
Me la voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie. 6 chis, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie. 6 chis, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí.
Oye, muchacho, el diablo azaroso. Suéltese más vivir que tú tienes en la calle. Búscate una mujer seria para ti. Muchacho, el diablo. Coño.
Yo quisiera enamorarme, pero no puedo, Yo quisiera enamorarme, pero no puedo, Sorry, yo no confío, nah, ni en mí mismo confío. Si quieres quedarte, hoy que hace frío y mañana te vas. Nah, muchas quieren mi baby gravy, quieren tener mi primogénito, ey, y llevarse el crédito. Ya me aburrí y quiero un totito inédito. Uno nuevo. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a romperte el corazón, Ey, no te enamores de mí, Ey, sorry, yo soy así, ey, no sé por qué soy así. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a romperte el corazón, No te te enamores de mí, no te enamores de mí. No, sorry, yo soy así. Ya, no quiero ser así. No.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces, Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Tyler Childers brings us back in. March Madness is out. It's here. It's here. It's happening. They're going to do it again. They can't keep getting away with this. $1 billion event that is going to be played over the course of the next 3 weeks. And you will learn about guys that you did not know. You'll learn about St. Peter's, Doug Edert. Remember him with the mustache guy? Addie, do you remember the Doug guy?
Yeah.
Hot or not, the Doug guy?
He was okay.
Yeah. The mustache would get you. Those guys haven't been born yet. They will be born in 10 days. You will know those names in 10 days. You didn't know about the McNeese State Cowboys. You didn't know about Hawaii. You didn't know about Akron or Hofstra, Santa Clara. But this week, this is the week. These are the days, my friend. Is that Melanie? Who sings that?
Mary Hopkins.
Mary Hopkins. These are the days, my friend, where you will learn. You're about to find it. You're about to learn Cal Baptist, buddy. Welcome to March. March is alive and well, but it is time on our show to eulogize those who are dead. It's time for our obituary. The first thing that is dead on the Drake Toll Show, Butler baseball. No graphic. You'd miss this one if you're just scrolling Twitter a little bit too aggressively. Butler baseball tweets on Saturday, 4:11 p.m. Central Time. Butler 1, Wichita State 30. Final. Tough day for Butler baseball. The comments on this are awesome. Nebraska Cubby says, nobody shuts out Butler baseball. Smooth says, this popped up my timeline, and I genuinely want to know, why would you even post this? I'm pretty sure you could just let this one go without posting. 30-1. Butler loses to Wichita State in baseball. Dead today. Drew Brees not having a baseball career. So his baseball career is alive. Guy who said that he thought his meal ticket into college and then pro sports would be baseball. That same guy was in New Orleans this weekend with the Savannah Bananas organization. Addie Bates, you went on Saturday. Tyler Shuck came out and played for the Bananas. We got some audio from that. Thoughts on 70,000 folks, Superdome, Savannah Bananas, and Party Animals?
I mean, it was a lot going on. Let me just say that. If you think baseball is slow and you can't focus, this is overstimulation to the max and you can't focus. So I feel like Tyler Shuck was crazy. Fever dream.
Yes. I waddled out there. We did the coin toss. And then we welcomed Tyler Shuck to the field. Here is Tyler Shuck on the third.
You look like a penguin.
I wore my little jacket, yes. Here is Tyler Shuck during a Savannah Bananas and Party Animals game. 11-on-11 at the Superdome, the near Rookie of the Year, 3rd down and 10.
Tyler Shuck has taken 2 shots at the end zone. He's trying to pull out all the stops. Going deep once again. Back towards Danny Hosley. Touchdown! Shuck to Hosley for 6.
Danny Hosley, member of the Savannah Bananas, and Tyler Shuck, member of the New Orleans Saints, their starting quarterback. Here's what Shuck had to say about his time in Banana Ball.
Thank you, Biko. Here was Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck. Tyler, how do you explain this?
I mean, words don't describe it. This is like Saints playoffs right here. This is where we got to get to. This is unbelievable atmosphere. You know, what Jesse and the whole Banana Ball, everyone's doing this unbelievable opportunity.
Obviously, Sundays in the Superdome are special. What makes this a little bit different?
I think it's the fans here. You see the fans' energy. You see everybody coming out, supporting, having a great time. People of all ages. So it's so cool to be a part of.
Looked like a stunt on the left side, cover 2, that second pass. What do we got to do different?
No, we got to be more prepared, man. We got to go out there in the film room. We had a plan for it. You know, we were rehearsing the whole time. They kind of showed us different coverage. We were able to get it done on 3rd down. So credit to our guys for staying in there, go making a big play down the right side.
It's safe to say the Bananas play caller probably in the hot seat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw my guy under the bus, but I think we can get some more work in. And it starts with me. So, but the guys, they got the juice. We're gonna get it done right now.
Tyler, incredibly grateful for your time and being here. Appreciate that.
Tyler Shuck, Saints quarterback, quarterbacking the Savannah Bananas on Saturday with Addie Bates in attendance. We'll hear from Drew Brees later on about his experience taking an at-bat in front of the Superdome this weekend later on in the show. Also dead today, 7-Eleven's Taiwanese mascot. I did not open this video before the show, and now that I have, it's terrifying.
He just admitted he doesn't look at the rundown. Thank you, Drake.
Whenever I see in the rundown, whenever I see, okay, Addie has built the show out, something that says 7-Eleven's Taiwanese mascot. You want me to click on that before the show? You want me to study up on the Taiwanese mascot at 7-Eleven?
Yeah, he flew away.
This is what happened when I was 9. I had the flu really badly. I took Tamiflu for like 2 straight weeks, and this creature is what would visit me in my dream. This, a variation, like a centaur, like the legs of this, the upper torso of Nick Costos, except the like Saturn ring hat that the Taiwanese 7-Eleven mascot's wearing is on Nick Costos. And I'm 9, and I've got the flu.
Curtis loves that visual.
And in the middle of my nap, it's this video's crazy.
Curtis is foaming at the mouth.
I can't believe. I implore you to Google. Don't stop listening to this show.
Google me.
During an event in Taiwan, strong winds caused 7-Eleven's Taiwan's mascot to disappear into the sky, accompanied by pleasant background music. It's just this big, it's like giant baby. It's got a rainbow headband, and it just floats into the sky. Oh my gosh, that's good. And
Did I ever tell y'all? Did I ever tell y'all about the time that I tried to tie balloons to my arms to see if I could fly, and then I ended up just losing all of my balloons? It was so sad. I had a Puss in Boots balloon.
Dead birds in America right now because of you and your balloon use.
I've recovered since then. Okay?
Just wanted to be like up.
Yeah, I did. Except I was like 3. I've also tried to like design elevators in my room, and I realized you couldn't do that with cardboard and staples.
All of this makes so much sense, actually. I believe all of this about you. And in the wake of that, you said, I'm going to be a collegiate bowler. And you did it. You did your goals. Congrats. Congratulations. You've done it. Those are our obituaries today. Sorry, Taiwanese 7-Eleven mascot. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Time for the quickie. Top 5 headlines at all of sports. I have a minute to respond to each of them. Addie Bates, what do we got?
Here's your first headline. Dominican Republic frustrated by blown call, but says it's part of the game.
They did get blown, and that was not good. In Miami especially. This Dominican Republic team is so stupid. What? This is so stupid. They're granted their pitching staff, and Severino pitched yesterday. Their pitching staff is not as deep or as strong as the United States. It's not even as top heavy. Like the U.S. has the best pitching staff here. Paul Skeens, thank you. Mason Miller, thank you. And to the Dominican Republic, who's got Austin Wells, super white guy Austin Wells, who I think born in the USA. I think his mom's Dominican, so he decided I'm gonna go play for the Dominican team. Get a spray tan. No one looks like that on March 16th. I'm not buying it. That team, Junior Caminero, Ketel Marte. You have Vlad Guerrero Jr., Perdomo, Santana, Rosario, Machado, O'Neal Cruz, Junior Lake, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., Albert Pujols is the manager. A nuts team, and they lost. Maybe try to score more than 1 run next time.
Here's your next headline.
What did I say? What was that little gaff there? What was that word that I used?
Stoopy.
What was it?
Stoopy.
Okay.
Also, never gonna forget it.
I just think it's funny because I think like if we were to take out like how many hours of sleep we all slept like last night, probably like all very like different like places. I don't even think it would total 5 right now. So I also think it's probably not even that funny. But because
listen, the casino in New Orleans, I am a fan. They did take all of my money, but Min last night dealing me my blackjack cards. I'm in. We're bros.
Okay, here's your next headline. Duke, top men's seed as Miami, Ohio sneaks in.
Losing a lot of money was pretty stupid, by the way.
Right after going to the Stoopy Dome.
I can't.
His Drake seed unity.
Duke is the number 1 overall seed for a team that's banged up, for a team that's not at its best going into March. I personally thought Arizona deserved this one after the way they beat Houston. Houston crawled back in the Big 12 championship game, but Arizona won it handedly. I thought Arizona should be the number 1 overall seed. Duke got it instead. Not upset by it. Cameron Boozer is one of the best players, if not the best player in all of college basketball. Duke is the 1 seed. Scary. John Shire, they won in the tournament last year until they didn't, but they won in the tournament. John Shire, Duke. That's still a very good Duke team. It's a minute.
Third headline, UConn overall number 1 seed, joined by UCLA, Texas, and SC.
Well, yeah, they're 34-0. Yeah, now what, huh? I'll talk more in depth about this coming up at 7:20 Eastern time, actually. We're on the precipice of this. We're talking women's basketball in the women's tournament. UConn it's in death taxes and Gino Auriemma, man. We should just know at this point that Stores is going to host in March Madness on the women's side, and the men look good as well. Congrats to UConn and everything school. Women's basketball, undefeated. I think they'll finish the season undefeated, 40-0, champions of the world.
Cameron Young, birdie 17, wins Players' Championship on final hole.
Cameron Young, you say?
Yeah.
The players did not, and maybe it's, again, by virtue of March Madness, or, I was tied up with Banana Ball, World Baseball Classic. Wasn't a very good weekend for the players, from my perspective, from my seat. I didn't hear anything about it. You're telling me this for the first time. She was a wonderful woman. As someone who really likes to watch golf, too, and tries to check on it as much as I can, just didn't hear any huge storylines out of the players. But TPC Sawgrass, man, great course. Really good course. So even if you didn't hear about it.
I think the reason why it was because Victor Hovland only tied for 13th, so why would anyone care?
Yeah, you do love Victor Hovland, don't you? Yeah.
I do love Victor
because
Hovland.
of hot, right? Yeah,
No, great golfer, great personality. Here's your final one. Yannick Sinner wins India Wells. Did anybody watch tennis?
Man, did NASCAR happen this weekend? Did we have tennis, NASCAR, and golf?
I just wanted to see if you knew about these. I was like, wow, I was shocked.
Because if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to see it, does it really make a sound?
There's also Anthony Simonson won the PBA Illinois Open or whatever classic.
Good. Write that down. That's a minute for tomorrow. I'll do that for my top headlines in sports. Yeah, man. It's if the tree falls in the forest and there's no one around, does it make a sound? I think it was Ben Platt that coined that quote. In Dear Evan Hansen, I think he originated that one. If the young man, if you will, won the golf tournament, but no one watched it. And if the NASCAR races happened, I don't even know if NASCAR race happened, but I bet it did. It was Sunday in March. All right. Congratulations to the players who played. But I did not get, I sadly didn't get to catch it. And I'm excited for the Sunday. The World Baseball Classic and March Madness took my attention. I'm excited for the Sunday that I get to sit and watch golf because I like watching golf. That's a minute.
Those are your headlines.
Those are the 5 headlines. Top 5 headlines in all the sports. Eddie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. The women? Let's not forget those ladies, y'all. March Madness bracket is set on the women's side. Who wins it all? That's easy, I can tell you. This, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, is the Drake Toll Show.
Afraid to miss a tournament game because of conflicts? Don't fret.
takes me out. And if I need a breather, I can hit the parkway. Be home before the bars all close. Drink away the lies she told. Think about the days. She was a pure-eyed child, a rodeo queen, high school lover in a badass Jeep. Far from the eyes of a watchful town. Mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor to shake this cold, and good heart loving on a gravel road. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Push came down to shove, I'd be a band for her love. Shoot sharp and walk away. She was good before she changed her name, and I bet that ain't all that's changed. Goddamn, I remember the nights. I was a young punk kid from a dried up town, Cold Car County full of hunting hounds. She was the one who kept those boys at bay. Her high heels and my red wing boots, cutting couches in the living room. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? I can't win for all this losing, I can't see for all this boozing. But by God, I can keep it together. Just to hold my baby close, get her moving down a county road, make up for lost time. She was a pure-eyed child of a rodeo queen. She ran on sex and gasoline. Far more money than a boy like me could hold. She went off to paint the town, and I'm stuck holding these mountains down. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Bananas.
Jordan Bell, Spurs, Jordan Bell, Spurs. Yo, 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 yo.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Ever been a quiet coffee machine? It's just so disappointing that I have to sit here and listen to the coffee. What are you trying to say right now?
I said, is it really loud?
It's just spitting out water slowly but surely over here into the cup that I'm trying to make tea in.
It's very stoopy.
I just need hot water for my tea. And the coffee maker is being stoopy. As we've learned, there is a different vocabulary of the Drake Toll Show. To enlighten the people of the world. Hello, Tulsa. Well, welcome to the show. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter. Oh. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12, the Drake Toll Show. Good morning. Addie.
Good morning.
The ladies are doing that march.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going to go with that. I was a little worried, actually.
Yep. Just getting my tea.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
spilled that in my lap.
You almost,
That's not good.
yeah, you did.
Yep. We're
I don't know
really
how you do
good
that
at
every
spilling
time.
hot tea in our lap. Every time. Women's tournament is out, and people, they're always like, man, Drake's, hey, the ladies. Not only am I supportive, not only do I like women's basketball, I've been following the WNBA collective bargaining agreement, and there are people out there. My father has been known to just see something on Facebook. I need to believe the WNBA player. Well, no. I mean, if you actually read into a lot of this stuff, women's basketball right now is on a heater, like all-time high. Talking like the heater of all heaters. I'm talking Clemson, South Carolina, at the Tiger Town Tavern. It's 1:23 a.m., so last call hasn't happened yet. You're out back in the courtyard, and somebody pulls out a pack of Marlboros. That kind of heater. That's where we are right now. And the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement is not like, hey, give us all of the money. We want the money. Instead, it is, hey, give us the money or a portion of the money we help you earn, because the revenue of the WNBA is at an all-time high. Yes, I know you read on an AI Facebook post that the WNBA is losing money hand over fist and they're all going to go bankrupt, the league's going to fall apart. But that's not true. It's not true. And the players want a little bit they want a cut. I would too. And now the collegiate side of this, the women's game on the collegiate side, also growing, exploding. A lot of people in this country can tell you who Audie Crooks is. She is the powerhouse for Iowa State, who will make them a contender in any game they play this season. A lot of folks would start to turn their head and say, wait a second. Vanderbilt women's basketball, that same team that beat LSU earlier this year. We know LSU's good, Kim Mulkey. That Vanderbilt team, they held serve. They actually were really good the rest of the season and proved they deserve serious flowers. TCU, winners of the Big 12 in the regular season, who lost to West Virginia. In the Big 12 tournament, finds themselves as a 3 seed. And the West Virginia Mountaineers, a 4 seed. How does that happen, huh? Or Tennessee, a 10 seed in this tournament, a 10 seed, playing NC State. Michigan, top 10 team, brings home a 2 seed. Texas, a 1 seed. Or do not miss how good the ladies of Princeton are at basketball. But everybody here, whether you're UCLA or Texas, even if you are South Carolina, you're all chasing 5 letters. UCONN. That would be UConn. You're all chasing the Huskies. And guess what? What it's time to realize right now, none of you are going to catch them. None of you are going to be able to topple what UConn is doing in 2026. This is a team incensed. The only way you're going to be able to topple, upset, stop UConn is if somehow their conference schedule out of the Big East was just so easy, so cheesy, that UConn ultimately is not prepared for this tournament. But if you don't think they're going to, if you don't think, they play the easier game, so will they be ready to go? Gino Auriemma is their head coach. I think UConn's going to be just fine. And I think ultimately what makes the NCAA tournament so electric on the men's side is oftentimes parity. We love it. We love to see the teams that lose. Which big team is going to lose? What I love about the women's tournament, what's fun about the women's tournament, number one, accessibility, ESPN. I've got that. I can watch that. Number two, it is greatness. We get to see top tier, top caliber teams win. I didn't hate Tom Brady, by the way. I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. I like greatness. I like dynasties. I like watching people be really incredible at certain things and leagues better than anybody else. That's what UConn is this year. And honestly, so is South Carolina, UCLA. So is Texas or LSU and Vanderbilt. Problem is, they don't stack up to meet the same category as what UConn has done this year. UConn will actually, this is a fun storyline, take on UTSA. Karen Aston, former Texas head coach, is now the head coach at UTSA, leading her team to a conference championship and a 16 seed playing in Stores against UConn. Listen to some of the scores on UConn's schedule this year. In their conference tournament alone, they were absolutely dominant, beating Georgetown 84-39, Creighton in the semifinal 100-51. Villanova, they beat 90-51 in the conference championship game. Held Providence to 38 points, Creighton to 44 points, DePaul to 40 on the road. Beat Tennessee, the number 15 team in the country, Tennessee, 96-66. 97-39 over Xavier. These scores are just fun to look at because of how stupid dominant they are. DePaul, 102-35. At number 16 USC, 79-50. Let's do this. Let's play this game. Listen to the games they played against contending teams. Even early in the year as they were still trying to figure things out. They beat Louisville 79-66. Florida State 99-67. Michigan, who's a 2 seed, a good team, 72-69. They beat Utah out of the Big 12, 93-41. And again, the aforementioned, beating USC on the road 79-51, beating number 11 Iowa at home 90-64, and winning against Notre Dame 85-47. Notre Dame is a tournament team. That's just how good UConn is this season and what they bring into the women's tournament. That's the number one takeaway. Today, when your buddy Kyle at work, he's in the cubicle next to yours, and he says, "Hey, man, I'm a big women's basketball fan." You're like, I know. You don't watch a ton of women's basketball. But you want to be knowledgeable. You want to feel like you're not left behind in that room. Gino Auriemma and UConn is your first thing to bring up. Their 50-game winning streak. Freshman Sarah Strong. It's just another one. Another incredible freshman on a team with gals who've been there, who've played there, who've done this. UConn's number one overall. UCLA, the old Sacramento side of this bracket, 25-game win streak. Lauren Betts is 6'7", and they won by 51 points in the Big Ten title game over Iowa. And that's a really good Iowa team too, dog. 51 points in the conference title. That's what you're running into with UCLA. And the virtue of that, by the way, is funky. It's just funky how the Big Ten works now, that UCLA would play Iowa in their conference championship, but they did. And UCLA completely dismantled, completely took care of business. Now they enter March Madness as the second favorite to win the whole thing. They'll play California Baptist, who made it in both men's and women's basketball. Oh, and California Baptist in this game is a 51-point underdog. Whew. This is the same UCLA team that beat USC on the road 73-50. They beat number 11 Iowa State by double digits, 72-62. They beat 6 seed Washington 78-60. These are just recent games. and number 9 Iowa 96-45. If anybody has a shot, and I don't think anyone really does, at knocking off UConn, it would be UCLA. Also on the one line, Texas. The Longhorns knocked off South Carolina, SEC championship game. Madison Booker. They could win their first national title since 1986. They're in the 3 spot. The reason they're in the 3 spot, just above number 4 South Carolina, is because they beat number 4 South Carolina, who is still a 1 seed, Don Staley and company. Late season, some stumbles. They're not at their best, but they're still a juggernaut. Joyce Edwards. She leads an incredibly deep roster at South Carolina. This is the year of the class of 2026. Aaliyah Chavez, Sarah Strong, focal points for offenses across the tourney. Oh, and one of the names that you certainly know out of women's basketball, Kim Mulkey, her LSU Tigers are a 2 seed. Oh, and in UCLA's region. UCLA, LSU, Elite 8. That's a pretty big heavyweight final to go to the Final Four. So, well, yeah, I mean, look, the first story to me needs to be Gino Auriemma. It needs to be UConn. It needs to be the fact that team is the best team in all of college basketball on the women's side. But past that, Kim Mulkey versus UCLA in the Elite 8, Vanderbilt's rise with Michaela Blakes, who's averaging 27 points per game, Audie Crooks at Iowa State getting to play the best team in America, UConn, in the round of 32, 25.5 points per game. Aaliyah Chavez, Hannah Hidalgo. Her defense could lead Notre Dame, the 6th seed, to a run into the second weekend. Also, what's cool about this, and you'll see it over the course of the next week, 7 days, top 16 seeds all host. When I was at Baylor did a really good job of hosting almost every year because Kim Mulkey. And so the top 16 teams will host the first and the second round. So if you get upset and you're a top 16, if you're the number 12 team in the country and you get upset on your home floor. And really neat what will happen for the economies of these cities, these small college towns that will take in 4 teams, a conglomerate of teams, in March Madness. And the Final Four, Phoenix, April 6th, National Championship. It's on the way. That is your women's basketball NCAA March Madness bracket breakdown, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Coming up, Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Our very own bracketologist, Josh Graham of Westwood One Sports and the Josh Graham Show, joins the program. This is the Drake Toll Show.
We are your official home of the NCAA.
you think about the word sentience. Sentience, it's the universe's, it's its most profound miracle. It's like a transition, right, from mere matter into a witness of existence, right? It's like the I am that emerges from biological complexity. I am turns a collection of atoms into an entity, but an entity that feels the sting of sorrow, but the warmth of the sunrise. The subjective window allows the universe to experience itself. To in essence, with you enjoying this and being in tow, you can touch yourself and realize, your existence has meaning. Creates this private theater, right, of like thought and emotion. That's what sentience is. The wonder of sentience lies in the quiet, in the internal spark that makes life not just a function, but it's a story. It's the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addy Bates produces, Curtis Poindexter runs the board. March Madness. Arch Madness. Basketball. Josh Graham, Westwood One Sports on the Drake Toll Show. Josh Graham, Duke, the number 1 overall seed. Though banged up, was it deserved?
I thought for a second you were doing McConaughey with that music in the background. For a second, I thought that's what you were doing, Drake.
Josh, I was doing the Drake Toll ad? There.
Okay. I'm just checking. Because I just felt like I was sitting there with my hand on the wheel saying, hey, why am I driving 7:45 in the morning listening to the Drake Toll Show in my Lincoln? What was the question about Duke again?
Duke,
this is
number 1 overall
exactly
seed in March Madness. The music's back. Number 1 overall seed in March Madness. Was it deserved, or should it have been Arizona?
It's deserved. Duke, in terms of their resume, it's deserved that they're the number 1 seed, because this is a team at every turn when you try to doubt Duke, figures out a way to impress you. I was at the ACC championship this weekend, and that might have been the most impressive title in the ACC, at least, that Shire's had, and he's won 3 in his first 4 years. He's done it without 2 starters this time around. The ACC is actually a pretty good league, got 8 teams in this year, and we're still able to win the conference championship and do so when Cam Boozer had his worst game of the year. So you're without 2 starters. Your National Player of the Year has his worst game of the season in the ACC championship, yet you still cut down nets in Charlotte. That's a tough team to doubt, which is funny and probably awkward because I don't have Duke in my Final Four.
Oh, all right. I mean, it's a good tease. Well, let's take it further. If Duke is not in your Final Four in an East that has Rick Pitino, Bill Self, John Shire, Tom Izzo, Mick Cronin is even hanging out in there alongside Hurley. Who emerges victorious? Who is your team out of the East?
Michigan State.
Oh!
I have Michigan State getting there because it's a run-it-back game if they get Duke in D.C. A run-it-back game. They met in East Lansing. It was a great game, and the final shot, the shot that put Michigan State down, was hit by Caleb Foster. And Caleb Foster is out at least until the Final Four, probably not going to return with a fractured foot. And just don't doubt Tom Izzo in March. It's also worth noting that this is in Washington, D.C., the Elite Eight and Sweet 16. And these 2 teams met in the Elite Eight in 2019, the last time there was a regional there. And it was Michigan State beating Zion Williamson's team by 2. So in another way, it's a run-it-back spot as well.
Josh Graham, Westwood One Sports app, joining the Drake Toll Show. Miami of Ohio gets in, and they'll play in the first four, so they'll have to go to Dayton, and then their official March Madness begins if they're able to knock off an SMU team who's favored by 9.5. Did the committee get it right by allowing Miami of Ohio in? Did they get it wrong by inserting them into a play-in game? And do the Red Hawks have any shot against SMU?
So I got a call from somebody very familiar with the selection process last night about this, because my initial reaction, I was on the air when the selection was made, was that Miami of Ohio should not have been playing in Dayton. But the way it was described to me was, because initially on the show they said that Miami of Ohio was the last team in. They actually were not. The way that it worked is they figure out who's in the field of 68, and Miami of Ohio was securely in the field. And then they scrub it, and they say, all right, let's look at all the at-large bids and then go through that process. And when you compare Miami of Ohio's resume to the other at-larges, again, not worried about whether or not they're in the field or not at this point, it became clear that it was more than fair to send them to Dayton. So I didn't have a great amount of I didn't take great umbrage with them being there. I think it's also great for them that they get to play an hour away from campus. Those fans are going to flock Dayton and be there, and it's going to be a really neat atmosphere when they play SMU, and I can't wait to watch it. And I think they have a good chance of not just winning one game, but winning two as well, since they're paired with a pretty soft 6 seed in Tennessee.
Yeah, you've got some of the best talent in the country. What's so odd about March Madness is you may have a team from Florida playing in Oregon in the round of 64 or the round of 32. For Miami of Ohio, they don't have to deal with that. They get to have a game in their backyard and pack out an arena for the Red Hawks who deserve it. Josh Graham, the teams seeded below 8. I need a 9 through 16. And if I had, I think Akron has a good shot with the way that they push the pace to maybe upset Texas Tech. There is a world in which Wright State knocks off Virginia, or a High Point beats Wisconsin in the classic 12-5. Who is that double-digit seed or even a 9 seed that you think has a genuine shot at not a Final Four, but a Sweet 16?
Missouri. Missouri's playing in St. Louis, rounds 1 and 2. I think Purdue might lead a lot of people, because the last thing we saw before the selection show was them winning the Big Ten, beating Michigan, of fooling people into thinking that this is like the Zach Edey team that went to the championship game a few years ago. I think if Purdue is playing Missouri in St. Louis, where it's practically going to be a home game for Mizzou, I think they get to the Sweet 16. And I think, given what they're paired with, maybe it's BYU, who, as you know, very banged up. They might even have a shot at getting to the Elite Eight as a 10 seed. So keep a very close eye on the Missouri Tigers, who can make a run out of that region, the West.
Josh Graham, at Josh Graham Show on Twitter, joining the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports. Josh, I want to backtrack a little bit here. The bubble, we touched on Miami of Ohio, and I should have asked you right after. Did the committee leaving Auburn out, or leaving even an Indiana out, did the committee get it right to you with these 68 teams?
Yeah. And frankly, as long as Miami of Ohio was in, it didn't matter to me anything else. Like, this is one of the worst bubbles we've seen in over a decade, maybe 15 years. And nobody really has like a leg to really stand on and argue. I know Bruce Pearl's going to advocate for his son, but there's never been a 16-loss team ever make the NCAA tournament. So I didn't, whether it was SMU, whether it was Indiana, or any of these others on the bubble, like, God bless you, you got into the tournament if you're SMU, but even if they got left out, I don't think they'd have a real gripe either.
No, and I don't think I realized just how weak the bubble is until we revealed these teams. And it's a year where a Santa Clara is a 10, where a Kentucky is a 7 with their resumes. And Kentucky wasn't a bubble team, but it's like, man, I watched a lot of college basketball this year. how do you sort these teams out where their seeds are? Just because there weren't that many teams once you get past that initial 7, 8, 10, 12 that I need to focus in on.
Well, going a step further, it's very difficult. What do you do with North Carolina, Texas Tech, and BYU, who have had significant injuries throughout the season and trying to sort out their resumes? And North Carolina comes in as a 6 seed facing 11th seeded VCU, and Texas Tech, they're right there as a 5 seed. I think they were. They're a 4 seed in their bracket. And then you bump back BYU to the 6th line. That's made the things, whether it's all America lists or seeding, a very difficult thing this season. But can I tickle you for a second? I got something here to make you happy, Drake. Would you like to be tickled this early in the morning?
You may proceed.
I've got 3 Big 12 teams in the Final Four.
That's it. Can I guess the 3? Because I know the 3.
Yeah, I think you probably can figure this one out.
It is Houston, Iowa State, Arizona.
Correct.
Bang. Josh Graham, we have a minute left here, as you well know. Why 3 teams from one conference, Final Four?
And then in the national championship, well, the Big 12's had a tremendous year, but in the championship game, I think it's going to be all Big 12. I think it's Houston and Arizona. And
wow.
I know Arizona, it's supposed to be the chalky pick. Oh, you got to go with them. They're better. They just won the Big 12 title game. No! Kelvin Sampson does not lose in the national championship back-to-back seasons. The man from Pembroke, North Carolina, cuts down nets in Indianapolis. Houston's the pick over Arizona.
Josh Graham, thanks so much for your time. Excited to listen to the Josh Graham show all week on Westwood One Sports, half the week.
Happy to do it, and I'm going to keep driving my Lincoln now.
Heck yeah, Jaguar. That is Josh Graham at Josh Graham Show on Twitter, joining the Drake Toll Show, our bracketologist. And he says Houston. I like that. Tugler, huh? Yeah, hardly know her. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Westwood One Sports. This Idiot of the Day coming up is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
She hit me like that. Saw that thing so beautiful. She just hit my heart. Oh, full force and she got me like that. I be like, baby, why you so fine? Got to make you mine. So hard to find. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she ain't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock them daylight. Like, Girl, you rockin' like sublime, super fine. She was never lying, strutting in the heels or her slides. Either way, eyes on her every single day, week, year. Everyone wondering how she does it with no fear. All that confidence, was it heaven sent? Does it come within? Does it come run out? I don't know. She'll just have them running out and in. Man, they want to sin, talking deadly sin with Mrs. Lady. I don't understand why she hit them like girl, you knockin' me. Oh, oh, oh. How you doing? Things you doing? Baby, you knockin' me. I'm already said.
Touch yourself.
Here we go again.
The Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports. One day the B-52s met in a room. They said, what is the single stupidest song we could make? Except here's the only caveat. It's got to be a banger. Mount Rushmore song all the time. In my brain, and I haven't listened to Love Shack in a while. A couple things here. Couple notes. Number one, happy 7 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Note number two, if you don't have a karaoke song, perfect. Everyone loves the Love Shack guy. You get up there, you do Love Shack as karaoke, and it's pretty easy. You can't, if you're one of those people who just reads the lyrics, I was down at the dive, and you have to do the voice. Everyone does the voice. Them's the rules. You have to go up there and you have to, hi. And in my brain until this moment, I'm realizing that for a little bit, I thought that it was unintelligible. That you couldn't understand the words. But no, they're pretty clear. Like the B-52s, they give you, they're painting a story. But in my brain, it was just, which it is still a little bit like that.
What if I told you they're from the United States?
Yeah. It's from Georgia, I believe. I think the B-52, they're Macon, Athens, Georgia. They're from the Georgia part of the U.S. They just said it, which you could get away with it back then. Like, hey, how can we sound genuinely terrible? But it's so bad, it starts to teeter back to good. That's the B-52s.
You know, that's
Genius.
why that's how we picked the song for that's how Addy picked the song for the Quickie, by the way. If you've ever heard that song with the lyrics, you cannot understand a damn word he's saying. So I just pulled the lyrics. I just got instrumental and looped it. It's great. Informer by Snow. It was a huge hit.
Last night, we, as a Bananas group, Bananas, we got together and decided to Mount Rushmore the songs that you can't understand the words. LaGrange, easy, could be number one.
Oh, Jordan Belfort.
Name one lyric in that song. I think he says the word mistaken. Mistaken. But I don't know.
What about Yellow Ledbetter by Pearl Jam?
Okay, yeah. There are a lot. The 90s, we love to just have this weird, that's just 7 different 90s songs put into one. That's Counting Crows with a little Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam in there. Some Creed to it. That's not real. Those aren't words. That's just like a grunt that comes from the back region of the mandible. Correct. That's what it sounds like. The other one we landed on would have been, I guess LaGrange was the one. Love Shack. Those two are up there. Oh, Dire Straits. The song that opens this show is also kind of a
money for nothing in your chest. That's easy.
Yeah, it's just the lyrics are so weird. We need to install microwave ovens. We got to move these refrigerators. Which it's funny that sometimes like there's listening to two movers, appliance movers, have a conversation. And they are. That's the premise of the song. They're just talking. They're just shooting it with the boys. I want my MTV. First music video to debut, 1984, I believe, on British MTV in the UK. Yep. The more you know. You listen to this show to get things you wouldn't have previously gotten, to learn things you wouldn't know. And now you do. Also, this says we're up to like a DEFCON 7. What does that mean? What's happening with the weather today in America?
Some of you may die. That is a sacrifice.
Wow, all right.
I'm willing to make.
There you go. Thank you,
Shrek.
Curtis. It is. The weather looks bad. Like it's starting around noon or so. The East Coast.
I'm actually worried about
not in good
DC. They're going to get tornadoes. And Big Sin, I don't know how she'll handle that. If she goes, I go. So this might be the final Drake Toll show.
Whoa! I mean, it's not going to be easy to do it without you. We'll do a moment of silence tomorrow, but I'm still doing the show.
Tomorrow you are?
Well, if you died today, I would do the show tomorrow. I'm on vacation tomorrow. I asked Nick Costos if I could have it off. He said yes. Yes. One day, this is going to happen. We're going to have a mega Drake Toll show. One day, Nick Costos is going to be on vacation, and they're going to call me, and they're going to say, can we have the mega Drake Toll show? 6 hours. 6 a.m. to noon. Variety show. It's going to be like Anchorman 2 when they had to host the news from midnight to 3 a.m.
Curtis, how would you feel about that? You'd be board hopping for 6 hours.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
5 minutes into it.
Yeah. Is it time for idiot? Have we done idiots yet?
We have not done it yet, so that is next in the rundown.
It's time for the idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
First idiot of the day, me, for flying today from beautiful sunny New Orleans to, it's not even sunny, not even close to sunny, to Savannah, Georgia, right through the eye of 7 different hurricanes that are happening. Idiot of the day, whoever made this promotion, it is a cardboard sign at what looks to be a Publix, and it's the new Dr. Pepper Cream Swirl, and the sign says, "Do you dare to cream?" Okay. Interesting. Idiot of the day, the umpire last night, World Baseball Classic, behind home plate, between the USA and Dominican Republic. Addie, can you give us some more context on this and your thoughts on what went down in the World Baseball Classic last night?
There were already some controversial calls throughout the game, but the final pitch, by the way, runner on third, I believe. And so, bottom of the ninth, Mason Miller looks a little erratic. You tilted your head up. Okay. Looks a little erratic. This pitch, easily like 3 inches below the zone. Called strike. U.S. wins it. Dominican Republic, they're out. It was crazy.
Yep. No more O'Neal Cruz. No more J-Rod. No more Fernando Tatis Jr.
O'Neal
no
Cruz, by the way, 6'7", and Mason Miller was 6'5" out there.
Yeah. O'Neal Cruz walking to the plate was scary. I did not like that.
Yeah.
That's a large human being coming at you.
Were you intimidated?
Yes. Idiot of the day today. This baseball player. Sorry, this is bad. The number one play on SportsCenter this week, or from the weekend, I guess I should say, and a pretty big weekend in sports basketball especially, is a Tennessee player at Georgia thinking that he has just tied the game in the 9th inning, but his home run is robbed. And he decided to hit the ball and then pimp job it, throw the bat, slam the bat down, make a scene just for this ball to be caught at the wall. Here's what it sounded like on ESPN.
The freshman, first of all, the 0-1. Stone Lawless gets just about every inch of it. You see him slam the bat down. He thinks that he has just taken the lead. Watch the freshman. Brings it back.
Pretty awesome. Idiot of the day. Those who think Drew Brees cannot play baseball. Inspired by Ted Williams, by the way. Drew Brees, big baseball guy. Thought that college baseball was his ticket to college athletics, and that eventually his ticket to the pros would be via baseball. Said a dream came true when he suited up for the Savannah Bananas yesterday. Yep, took an AB. Hard contact, 103 off the bat, to the shortstop. Trick play, got him out of first base. But here is Drew Brees went on for 2 minutes about how special the Superdome was. Back-to-back sellouts for the Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals this weekend. Here is Drew Brees.
Drew, come on in here. Where Jesse's talking about, hey, this is your house, your city. What's it mean to be able to share Banana Ball, to share this man in the yellow tux with your city?
It's pretty awesome, and I can tell you the last thing I ever thought I'd be doing is hitting a baseball inside the Superdome. We've had some pretty awesome moments in here, and add this one to the list. Honestly, to see a packed house again is always a joy. this is one of the loudest venues in all of sports. And when the crowd goes off, like it feels like the roof's about to blow off. And we felt a few of those moments today. A lot of smiling faces and a lot of kids just loving what they're seeing. I mean, these guys are so talented. I was telling Jesse, like, how many Major League Baseball guys get to play in a venue like this? They don't, right? I mean, the venues that Banana Ball is able to be played in is so awesome, so great for these communities. Kids are falling in love with baseball as a result of this, and it's just so much fun to be a part of. I'm so thankful that they chose to come to New Orleans, 2 sold-out days in a row. So, you know, the Superdome is alive with Banana Ball.
Drew, for yourself, growing up, you thought, hey, pro baseball might be my path. I might be going to college to play baseball. This might be the future. For a young Drew, just a couple years ago, how'd it feel to suit up, put the helmet on, swing the bat at somebody throwing 90 miles at you again?
It felt great. I mean, look, I'm a sports junkie. Like I grew up loving sports so much. It's all I wanted to do. My brother Reed and I always hoped I'd have the chance to be a professional, athlete of some kind. Really thought it was going to be baseball. Like you asked me as a kid who I want to be. Man, I wanted to be a pure hitter like Ted Williams. I want to have a home run swing like King Griffey Jr. I wanted to play as long as Nolan Ryan did and be as smooth as Satchel Paige. Like those were my guys. And I almost quit football my sophomore year of high school to focus on baseball. Good thing I didn't. But I truly thought that baseball would always be a part of my life, and it was. I had a chance to coach my kids. And I was telling Jesse, actually, 5 years ago when Banana Ball was kind of starting to roll, I thought to myself back then, I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool to take an at-bat with the Savannah Bananas? And so here we are. This is like dream come true.
Well, Drew, if you've learned anything from Jesse, if you think it's going to get done. And what a blessing it was to have you here.
That was Drew Brees. I got to shake Drew Brees' hand yesterday. I have the coolest job in the world. I think anybody who works in sports has the coolest job in the world. We love to complain. Man, we love to complain. But these jobs are awesome. And getting to meet people like that, genuine people like Drew Brees. His son, the one from 2000, what would have been 09? Super Bowl 09, is that right? His son that he was carrying, the baby, during the Super Bowl victory with little headphones on. I met that child. Like just a whole
Very
high
excited
schooler.
to meet a child.
I was like, what's going? Like, how's this? College, high school? Like, how did that happen? Where did this come from? Man,
I know.
time flies.
Who dat?
Just Drew Brees' son. Yeah, really cool. It's maybe the loudest moment I've heard in my 3 years with the Savannah Bananas. You know what also, maybe the second loudest? Jason Kipnis at Progressive Field in Cleveland, 2024. We brought Kipnis out. That place came apart. What?
Like, Drew Brees makes sense because it's like, that's Drew Brees. It's New Orleans. He's royalty here, literally.
Correct.
I mean, as a Saints fan, like, he's the GOAT. That's interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, well, I got to see Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, you did. And Tyler Shuck liked himself some Banana Ball. Threw a touchdown pass in Banana Ball. That was a lot. You know what? You're right. Saturday's game was overload. We did a lot in that contest. Okay. Couple more idiots of the day, quickly. Auburn posted their food for thought, so they didn't make the NCAA tournament, and posted a graphic with a series of 7 million things on it. Can't even rate it. There's so much going on. Someone quote tweets it with almost as many fonts as you have losses. There are 13 fonts on this thing. Just a bad week to be the Auburn social media people trying to fight the battles of one Stephen Pearl. And then idiot of the day, Mark DeRosa. Really funny, from New York Porch Sports. Tweeted yesterday. Mark DeRosa was notified at 6:35 p.m. that the United States was playing tonight, believing they would face Italy Monday afternoon. That's pretty good. Come on, guys. I didn't mean it. I misspoke. Come on. Stop picking on me. Quit being mean. It's my Mark DeRosa impression.
Pretty good.
Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. My phone's not charging anymore either. I'm going to figure that out. My brand new phone that I got because the other one exploded. It's blue. Matches the Broncos. That's nice. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, who's got the easiest path to a national championship? And who are those teams in the middle of the pack that could actually do damage? I have the answers. This is how you win your bracket pool. And this is the Drake Toll Show.
Follow the big wave of free agency. Who are the favorites to make it to LA for...
I don't know why I keep on believing you need me when you prove so many times that it ain't true. And I can't find one good reason for staying. Maybe my leaving would be the best for you. But these rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. And they let me hold on to the good times, good lines, the ones I used to hear when I held you. And they keep me from feeling so cheated, defeated, when reflections in your eyes show me a fool. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. So I'll just keep on hoping, believing that maybe by counting the many times I've tried, you'll believe me when I say I love you, and I'll lay these rose-colored glasses aside. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth.
And if I need a breather, I can hit the parkway.
It is the Drake Toll Show.
Be home before the bars all close. Think away the lies she told. Think about the days.
Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You know, there is a player on the Savannah Bananas who
Crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo.
such a good song. You can leave that in the podcast, right?
No, I cannot.
That one's unreleased. It's no copyright.
What were you saying about the Bananas
we
player?
own it. It's ours. Yes. He's very proud of his Jewish heritage. But as a broadcaster, it's on us to, right? I don't want to just assume he's Jewish or assume that the secondhand things have been told, like, hey, you know, he is Jewish, that I can just believe that. I need to ask him. Like, how do you ask a person, hey, are you Jewish? And it not be. This is I'm letting you know about the everyday struggles I have in life. I have to go as a journalist and say, hey, you know, we want to talk about your pride and your Jewish heritage. We just want to make sure that you're actually Jewish. So I said, hey, man, you know, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. I have kind of a personal question. Are you Jewish? To which he responded, my name is Maxwell Young Goldberg. Yes. Whew, crisis averted. I was very nervous going into it. Come to find out, yes, Jewish. That actually is it's one of my more favorite bits that I've gotten the blessing and honor to play in life.
Are you Jewish?
Yep. This has happened a few times. Last year, same scenario, we hired a new guy with the Bananas. And we're in Clemson, South Carolina, 81,000 people at a football stadium. I was like, hey, man, I just heard a rumor, and that's obviously not a bad thing. I just wanted to know. Somebody told me that you're actually Jewish. Same thing. He said, my name is Mitchell Abraham Rubenstein.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Yeah. Landed the plane right there. Sorry,
I have a question.
Yeah. All right, whatever.
What did that have to do with your like rejoin music?
You told me that Redneck Romeo by Tyler Childers was stuck in your head this weekend. And it's a great unreleased song. Lexington's a city. It ain't too big. It
The
freaks
entire
me out.
like weekend. Yeah, I would just sing that one line though. That's the problem because I don't know all the lyrics.
Oh, the opening line, just the opening line.
Yeah. So then, like, you know, the wagon wheels, they fell off. Buck stopped there after the first line. And so my friends were very patient with me the entire weekend.
Speaking of Wagon Wheel, I bet you think Wagon Wheel is a Darius Rucker original. I bet you do.
No, I do not.
Who sings it?
Isn't it like Old Crow Medicine Show or something?
Absolutely Old Crow Medicine, who I saw live 2 weeks ago. Old Crow Medicine Show.
Yeah. Do you want to know why? Ball knower. Come on now. Come on.
Why are you a ball knower?
You were trying to stump me on a little country music there. I got that.
Oh.
I still got a sliver of redneck.
Yeah. Man, I just want to touch yourself. I need to know right now what's happening with these flights. I need to know what's happening in America. There's a partial government shutdown, so there's no security at any of these. I can just walk through TSA. And the half of the country is underwater or going to be underwater in five hours. And now I just got a text from our director of travel who's on the road with us. Last thing I heard from the pilot on our current flight is 1 hour and 50 minutes until they give us the all clear for wheels up. So just sit tight, folks. Oh my gosh, man. We live in a society.
That's awful.
You know what I like about today's program is today's show has been a real look inside my brain. It's been a real opportunity for just the unabridged human thoughts, the things that you think, that you believe. You know? And now you guys, sorry if that seems stupid, have the opportunity to.
I was like, if you believe these, or if this is your brain, this is your brain on drugs. It's like one of those commercials.
Yes.
Where he deflates into the couch.
Who was the, and then I'll move on. Who was the mayor of New York that's no longer the mayor of New York? Before Mamdani, who was it?
Oh, Cuomo.
No, after Cuomo, before Mamdani.
Who was after Cuomo? Oh, Eric? No, I don't know.
Eric Adams.
Oh, cool.
And Eric Adams has a great video of him teaching parents, inner city parents, how to look for paraphernalia in their children's bedrooms. And he's got this great line where he's like, see, you may think it's a pillowcase, but if you reach inside, crack pipe.
Oh my God.
It's so good. Genuinely, that's the entire 8 minutes.
Are we
it's
going to get kicked
aggressively long.
off the radio for that?
He's like, look, it seems as though this is a harmless book, but then you open up, weed. It's really rich. It's super rich. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. Look, dog, it's the most wonderful time of the year. March Madness. Look, we're bang. We're there. One shining moment. This is the best tournament in sports. And what makes it the best tournament in sports is this ruthless single elimination format. If you have a bad night, your season is over. Oh, we're the best team in college basketball. Yeah, the best team in college basketball doesn't always win the championship. It sometimes is just the team that did what it needed to do when there were 64 teams, 68 teams. They won the games because they got hot. They were a 7 seed, and they won the national championship. Looking at you, UConn in 2023. But this year, man, in order to kick out some Titans pretty early, we said, hey, what if we just took one entire region of this bracket and just made it all of the people made it all the A-list coaches you've heard of, made it all the big-name teams that you've heard of. And here we go. Jamie Dixon, the greatest head coach in TCU basketball history, is in the East. He is joined by Johnny Dawkins, the Duke legend who now coaches at UCF. Mick Cronin, also in this region. All stacked up against John Shire at Duke, who is the greatest of all time at taking over for a legend. Now, I don't think anybody's taken over for a legend the way that John Shire has. Pretty incredible to see. Dan Hurley, also over there. 2023, 2024, back-to-back championships. Oh, and Tom Izzo and his number 3 seed Michigan State. Bill Self, Rick Pitino, also hanging out. They've all got national championships to their name. Pitino, Self, Izzo, Hurley, Shire, Cronin, even Johnny Dawkins making an appearance in the conversation. And each of those guys will try to strategize to knock off one man. Each of those guys will game plan to beat Jerry McNamara. Yep. He's making his head coaching debut in the tournament as a former national champion as a player at Syracuse, bringing his Syracuse DNA from Jim Boeheim to Siena. The 16 seed looking for a monumental upset against Duke. You've got Mick Cronin, Dan Hurley, Rick Pitino, Bill Self, and Jerry McNamara. That's why we love the game, man. It's why we love March Madness. For what the East will bring. And I think, by the way, as I look at this bracket, that there are some clear options for the lower seeds for you to pick. VCU is a heat check option. They have lost once since January 11th. They play in the A-10, which is a much better conference than some of these mid-majors. That's a team I'm buying. They are a smart pick. They're this is a pick where if you're cautious about your Cinderellas, VCU can be that team. Oh, and they draw North Carolina, who is without its best player. And if they get past North Carolina, they get the winner of Illinois and Penn. Illinois lost 3 of their last 5, and it's an Illinois team, Brad Underwood. What have they really done for us the last few years in March Madness? What have they really got to show for all these regular season wins at Illinois? VCU has the door open to knock off North Carolina and then Illinois, make a Sweet 16 run as the 11th seed in the South. What about Miami of Ohio? Well, that's the team we've all heard of. Oh, they had to get in. They had to get in. They had to get in. Will they even win a game? Well, yes. They're in the play-in, the first 4, the 31-0 anomaly. It's one of the most fascinating stories I can remember as far as bracketology, the bubble, seeding goes, is Miami of Ohio. 31-0, and then a loss to UMass in the MAC tournament. Now they're an 11 seed. If you go undefeated, especially the way they did, not blowing people out, but winning by the skin of their teeth, 2 points, 4 points, 3 points, 6 points, you have to have elite chemistry, elite leadership. And it seems as though Miami of Ohio has that. If they can get past SMU, and I think they will, SMU is favored by 7.5 or 9.5. It varies pretty widely based on where you look. But we've seen teams like VCU in 2011, UCLA in 2021, come from these double-digit seeding ranks and make the Final Four. If Miami of Ohio beats SMU in Dayton, they're in the same spot, a very similar spot to 2011 VCU, where you didn't know VCU that much. But boy, you did by the end of the tournament. That's what Miami of Ohio can become. I'm buying Santa Clara, by the way. 26-8. They're that hidden gem. The selection committee, I think, may have undervalued even. They're really efficient offensively, and they force a ton of turnovers. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for a one-game sample. High seeds in a one-game sample where Santa Clara tries to speed you up, steal the basketball, a Kentucky team that's Jekyll and Hyde, losing to some of the worst teams you can draw up out of the SEC, beating some of the best teams you can draw up out of the SEC. If the bad Kentucky shows up, if the mediocre Kentucky shows up and Santa Clara plays the kind of basketball they played with the size they have, they can punish the Wildcat. Oh, there's no way Santa Clara could punish Kentucky. I saw it with Cal. I've seen it with Mark Pope. You saw it in that the Oakland game where the Jack Golke, maybe, went off, and that kid had 7 or 8 three-pointers, whatever it was. It was nuts. UCF then, Johnny Dawkins, defensive specialists over there. Folks, Kugel, they have got the kind of experience, the age that it takes to win. Oh, and they played the best conference in college basketball, the Big 12. A conference that Josh Graham, Westwood One Sports, has 3 teams representing in the Final Four. Whew. UCF, a resume of playing those squads, gets into March Madness, and things get a little bit easier. Hey, and don't forget, remember I told you Illinois can be fraudulent in March Madness? Penn. I don't know, man. Penn wasn't even the best team in the Ivy League. But T.J. Power, that's the name you should know. 44-point, 14-rebound performance in the Ivy League championship. If a single player, if one man, a Jimmer Fredette, can get that hot in March, they can carry a Penn past an Illinois that has lost 3 of 5, and it's trending downward. There are your sexy Cinderella picks. Coming up, who will go to the Final Four, though? I mean, the real analysts here, the real guys who want to stick their neck out, put their neck on the line, put their reputation on the line. Those are the guys who are telling you the Final Four on Monday. Will I be one of those guys? Let's find out. Is the Drake Toll Show.
always go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo and all. I guess time does make fools of us all. Hey, I can sell you 1,000,000 records. I mean, your image could use an overhaul. Don't you know time just makes fools of us all? Headline said it's southbound. The losers exodus. That's where you'll find me in Las Vegas, doing my greatest hits. Me and Dixie, we had ourselves a ball. I followed my dreams, and my dreams said to crawl. Is a shill. The priest says, if these two don't make it, who among us ever will? Don't ask the love you dare for a prediction wherein the lovers of tomorrow are involved.
The Uber I was scheduled for. Bing. Count it. I'll do it. Naked Grandma. You pine.
Sit on it.
Sit on it. The bracket is out. And you know what? Basketball. What you need to know is that March Madness is different. Ruthless. Ruthless. You have one bad night, you're going home. In the NBA, the MLB, you can play a 7-game series. You can have a couple bad nights. You can have 3 of the worst nights of your entire life. But unlike the NBA or the MLB, where a superstar team could survive a bad night, March Madness it'll chew you up, spit you out. There are no safety nets. March Madness is a tournament where every possession has a sustained level of intensity. It's impossible to replicate in a series. A small school can shoot 60% from 3 and take down a blue blood who shot 20% from 3 on one night in a 40-minute period. By the way, it turns millions of non-fans into active participants via bracketology. Hey, did you fill a bracket out? Who's winning your bracket? What do you have in your bracket? What's your bracket look like? Who's in your Final Four in your bracket? And even if you don't know about basketball, you're submitting a bracket. Oh, I like Duke this year. Oh, I like Michigan State this year. Why? I don't know. Colors are pretty. Like their mascot. Huh. Okay. Roughly a 1 in 9.2 quintillion chance you'll get a perfect bracket. But if you do, Warren Buffett, still alive, will give you $1 million. And it's become a holiday. The bracket reveal, selection Sundays become a holiday. Yeah, Addie's reading me headlines today that somebody won the players. And TPC Sawgrass, great course, fun tournament, would love to watch it, but I'm glued to the World Baseball Classic and to Selection Sunday in March Madness. A structure that allows David and Goliath matchups to happen 12 times over the course of 3 weeks. That allows UMBC. There's just not a way that UMBC or Fairleigh Dickinson could ever play a regular season game against number 1 Virginia or number 1 Purdue and win. They couldn't play game 3 of the regular season. UMBC goes to Virginia or Fairleigh Dickinson goes to Purdue. those teams are not going to win those. They're going to lose by 40. But in March Madness, a number 16 over a number 1 becomes a household name overnight. Your school's admissions skyrocket. Oh, and you get characters. Florida Gulf Coast, Dunk City, or the 98-year-old Sister Jean, R.I.P. in peace, Loyola Chicago. You don't get that in the NBA. You don't get that in the MLB. You don't get it in the NFL. You don't get characters that you've never heard of before. Because it's 67 games packed into 3 weeks of dramatic finishes. And you statistically have higher odds, by the way, higher odds in March Madness than any other playoff system to have dramatic finishes. The first 2 days, you get 32 games of big moments. Oh, and the ball is tipped. There you are. That's like a human element of collegiate sports that slaps you in the face at the end of the whole thing. Not to mention, don't forget it. Don't forget it. The tournament generates over $1 billion in revenue every year. 3 weeks, $1 billion. That's hard to wrap your mind around. In revenue. So you're already paying. There's a lot of money that goes into Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, or headed down to the Superdome in New Orleans. There's a lot of money that goes into those venues being in your back pocket for an event like this, for an event like the Final Four, for March Madness. But at $1 billion in revenue alone, just goes to show this is the best tournament in sports. This is the best format in sports. And what you are seeing in sports from these 68 teams that begins tomorrow night is something special. 3 weeks that are special. Namely, that this is the week that's special. Today is Music Monday. Addie Bates, producer of the Drake Toll Show, has 5 songs. 5 seconds of those 5 songs. Addie, are you ready? Curtis, are you ready for Music Monday?
Curtis, are you ready?
Yeah, I guess already. As ready as we'll ever be.
Oh,
All right.
He usually says no, so that's good.
All right, here's your first song.
He was a hard-headed man. He was brutally handsome.
Okay, yeah, I got that one.
Next song.
Okay. Okay.
I never met a girl who makes me feel the way that you do. You're all right.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What's the fourth song?
Picture of you and me driving across country.
Interesting. Okay. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm usually the country guy, too. Okay, what's our final song today?
Oh, baby, time's getting a little crazy. I've been getting a little lazy.
Ooh, here's the problem: is that song goes ooh, woo.
Yeah.
But that's not a word. That's not the name of the song.
No, it's not.
Okay, let's hear song number 1 again, please, Curtis.
He was a hard-headed man. He was brutally handsome.
This should be. I don't know if Joe Walsh is a member at this point. I think he is. I'm almost positive Joe Walsh is a member at this point with Don Henley.
Mm-hmm.
Life in the Fast Lane, the Eagles.
Correct.
All right, 2 for 2. Next.
1 for 1.
Jewish. Yes?
I don't know. I haven't asked them.
I don't think so.
Cult of Personality by Lenny Kravitz.
Yes? No! No!
Oh, is it not Lenny Kravitz?
Not the original one.
No. It's Living Color.
Oh, not Jewish. Okay. Song 3.
I never met a girl who makes me feel the way
Get ready, because here I come. Is it the Ronettes?
The Temptations.
Oh,
But it's Get Ready, so I was proud of you for that.
Get ready. Okay. Song number 4, please.
Driving across country in a dusty old RV.
I couldn't give you the song. Is it Pat Green?
That is Shooter Jennings. That is Waylon Jennings' son.
Wow, Shooter Jennings. Song name?
4th of July.
Okay, last song.
Running around, let's look for some common ground. So, baby, time's getting a little crazy.
We're looking for Escape, Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, Sweet Escape, but we'll give
Sweet
it to you.
Sweet Escape. All right, Sweet Escape. I'll take it.
Good job.
Good. Life in the Fast Lane, The Eagles, Cult Personality by Color, the Get Ready by The Temptations, Pat Green, and Sweet Escape, Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, Shooter Jennings.
That's Eddie Bates. She produces from Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Santa Monica, California. Colin Jones is the president. The senior vice president is Bruce Gilbert. Armor Williams, program director. They all gave me a job. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I will see you on Thursday. I'm taking a 2-day vacation where? My house, where I will, for the first time in a long time, sleep. Thank you, and I'll see you very soon. March Madness time. This has been, it always will be, The Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One.